I hear ya. I guess we can go after the thief. Unfortunately, with this thief, he's a total flat-footer, so no point does he jump. So he's just keep on cutting corners, and you actually should be able to get him really easily. Wow, I am quite surprised with myself. You porker. Look at this. Whole bunch of gems. Whole bunch. Here we have, another one of my favorite Spyro 3 levels, Desert Ruins. However, before we do that, you'll see there is a bit of a cracked ice wall here that we can charge right through. And look at that, another lone pedestal with an egg on it. How very original. How's it going, Billy? Now, getting off of this pedestal always makes me nervous, because there is a whirlwind right here, but it just barely picks you up, and I keep on thinking that I'm gonna fall off when I jump into it. So, we're right here. Let's go into Desert Ruins. Very fun level. Ooh, just automatically the music just makes me wanna move and groove, yo.
Hello, you must be Spyro. I've heard a lot of people talking about all the things you've done for them. Do you think you could help find my girlfriend Tara? She went off to raid the tomb of the stone golem, but I haven't seen her since. I'd go look inside the tomb myself, but, you know, there's all these scorpions.
And stuff. Also, why are you playing golf? That's kind of weird. So you're saying that you have a girlfriend named Tara, and she's off to raid a tomb. My gosh, again, you're ripping off stuff, Spyro. You're ripping off other things. Seriously, how shameful do you have to be to rip off Uncharted? That is just unacceptable. My gosh, how could you? Be original for once in your pathetic existence of a life of a thing. Alright, so you want to be careful of these guys, because they will light up the floor underneath you. And if you defeat them, then they won't do that, which is, you know, nice. I love it. Yeah, this is, one of those level redesigns that both looks really, really pretty and really vibrant, but also stays incredibly true to the original. Not much has changed. Which is, I'm fine with. That's pretty much what the entirety of the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy was, so when it works, it really works. Also, for some reason, that Scorpion does not have a gem, nor did he in the original. So, glad they retained that, question mark? Okay, I did not time that well at all. Yeesh. That's where the extra hit point really comes in handy, especially when you get hit 3 times in a row because of carelessness. Ugh. I guess I'm just not feeling it today. Shaboom! Oop. Let's actually go over here first. Oh yeah, this jump is oddly hard to make now. It helps if you charge into it. There we go. Done. And from here we can go down here to the last Sheila level. Also, I just realized that Bentley level that we did in Crystal Islands, that was the last Bentley level as well. So, well, not the last Bentley level that we're going to do, but rather the last one that we encounter this far in the game. We still have all the stuff that we need to backtrack for. But whatever. Let's go in here. This actually is the last Sheila level, so.
Haven't seen you in a while. I'm just off for a bit of a walkabout right now. You know, sometimes you just long for the simple, old-fashioned pleasures of yesteryear, don't you?
We get it. You're Australian. Now, the eggs that you find here are very appropriately entitled Crash Kangaroo. Can you guess why? Couldn't possibly have anything to do with the 2.5D side-scrolling gameplay, could it? Nah. What? No. It is actually a pretty well-known fact that back when Insomniac were, oh god, I really regret not having health increase before entering this area. I say, as there's fodder right here. Now, as I was saying, back when Insomniac and Naughty Dog were working on Spyro and Crash Bandicoot respectively, They actually had a very friendly rivalry. And actually, it persisted also in when they were developing Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter, because they kept on making references to each other's games and stuff, which is really cool. Like, one of my favorites is in Ratchet and Clank 2. There's a mission where you have to like ride a really long grind rail, and at the end there's a there's a collectible that you need to progress through the level. Are you serious? As I was saying, there's a collectible that you... Oh my gosh, how can you not get hit by him? There's a collectible that you need to progress later through the level. I am just sucking today. And when you collect it, Clank does a special little dance. And it's the exact same dance that Daxter does in the first Jak and Daxter game whenever Jak collects a power cell. It's a nice little frick my butt in the poop. As I was saying, it's just a nice little Easter egg that they threw in there to, you know, really hammer it home that even though they were rivals, it was a very friendly rivalry. And that they actually wanted each other to succeed. I actually think some members of Naughty Dog did come to help work on Spyro, and vice versa. Like, they shared employees, I guess, which is really cool. You don't really see an awful lot of that. A lot of times, like nowadays, all the video game developers are like every man for himself, and we want to be the best, and they don't let anyone else help them. It's not like any collaborations or anything like that. It's kind of sad, really. It's all about, like, money and independence and stuff. So, the video game industry is just really greedy nowadays. And that's why a lot of games end up rushed and unfinished. Because not only are video games able to be fixed with patches now, after also, you know, tear down that wall. Not only do video games are able to be patched now after they become released, but developers use this to their advantage. Also, there's a key. I should probably actually start talking about the game. They use this to their advantage to put out games even faster so they can make money faster, and they can just patch it later. Which, you know, people are paying for an unfinished game. So, you know, money makes the world go round, I guess. So there's this area that I missed earlier, and I missed that on purpose, because at the top of these steps there is a lockbox that Spyro is totally not looking directly at right now. And there's also a little platform that can only be accessed from the top of those stairs. So there you go. And now we can finally go back to where we were. And I can actually start talking about the game again. And there is a few more things we can do at the top of this ladder here. If we want to just make our way up there, make our way downtown. You might think that there really isn't any reason for this platform here to exist, but if you look over here, secret platform in the distance. Yoop. And if you go all the way around, then there's another egg. We're making pretty short work of this level right now. If there's one thing I will never get tired of, it's that sneeze! Baby sneezes are so cute when, you know, they're not snotting all over the place, which, let's be real, a lot of them typically are. It's the sound of the sneeze that's cute, but the aftermath, not so much. Thankfully, this is the last time we have to pay money bags in the game. Keep in mind, this is the last time we have to pay him, but it's not the last time that we encounter him. Remember that sentence.
I bet you're glad to see me. It just
Nope.
happens that I know the password to open the door to the tomb of the stone golem.
Is it shut up?
It seems to have slipped my mind for the moment, if you know what I mean.
See, it's like he's not even trying anymore. He's like coming up with these on the spot. Like, Spyro, the way forward is, like, it's not obstructed at all. There's no, like, bridge or door or anything. But, there's actually a magical force field that will kill you if you even cross the threshold, so you need to pay me 20,000 gems, blah, blah, blah. With all of the gems that you're getting, you're also getting dumber money bags.
It's just as well. I've heard there are enough riches inside this tomb to pay a dragon's ransom.
Wait, what?
So to speak.
We are still speaking in hypotheticals, right? Right. Okay, fine, I'll pay you, just don't kill me.
Very well then. The password to open the tomb is... Are you ready? Gullible! Okay, there was no password. I was standing in front of the wall switch. What are you going to do? Sue me?
Honestly, that's one of my favorite Moneybags lines. I love it. So does that also mean that there's some sort of legal system in the world of Spyro? Who knows? All of these questions and more will never be answered on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Get him before he burns the place down. And yes, this is technically the end of the level, and there's more to do over there, but let's just get this out of the way first. Because let's face it, it's pretty awesome. Hello, not Lara Croft.
Showing up here to raid the tomb after I've done all the hard work. I've spent all day pressing switches and shoving boxes around, and you just waltz in here expecting to claim the treasure? Well, you might as well have it. It's only a lousy egg anyway.
Marty! You know, this reference to Tomb Raider might have been considered dated when this game came out if Tomb Raider hadn't also been rebooted at around the same time. So, props to you for good timing, Toys for Bob. I've actually never played any of the original Tomb Raider games. I've only played the first two of the rebooted series. Tomb Raider and the other one is Rise of the Tomb Raider, I believe. Heard that the new one that came out recently, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, was kind of disappointing. I might still try it sometime. Hopefully I'll end up liking it. Alright, so down this hole is yet another challenge portal. Let's see what it has to offer. Yay, underwater level! Oh, and look! It's the manta ray from Spyro 2! So many rehashes. And yet this game is still awesome.
To carry the latest technology. Super high impact underwater missile launchers. Want to ride them and try blasting some sharks?
Hunter, are you blind? I'm down here.
Just watch out for the shark riders. They're carrying the latest JX5 underwater tracking ammunition.
I have no idea what that means, but let's do it. Yeah! Oh god. This challenge is actually kind of hard now. Even though the manta ray controls pretty darn smoothly, these guys' reaction time is pretty quick. And the missiles that they shoot at you are fairly good at tracking. And also, oh my gosh, please just kill this shark. He's right in front of you, dude. Thank you. Also get these lockboxes. And unlike the shark submarine in Lost Fleet, you are actually able to collect gems on the back of the manta ray, which is pretty useful. Come on, here we go. Last one. Where are you going? You're going to hell, that's where you're going.
Nice shooting, comrade. Where'd you learn to aim like that? Oh, by the way, Bianca wanted me to give you this egg. She says she accidentally turned it into a woolly mammoth for 5 minutes, but it should still be okay.
That's fine, we've all been there, man. I would make a reference to a Beatles song, but I don't want to sound like a pedophile. You're also going to need the manta ray not only to get the rest of the gems, but also to get a skill point in this level.
You can ride the manta ray around just for fun if you like.
Well, it's more of a necessity than fun, but yeah, sure.
Have fun!
Have necessity! So, again, this is a bit of a rehash, but if you see all of this, glowing seaweed that's kind of out of the way, if you destroy all of them with Manta Ray, and you get a skill point. So let's do that. So glad that they decided to make the seaweed actually bigger and more distinguished than in the original. It's the same instance with the seaweed skill point in Aquaria Towers. So in the original, they were really small and flimsy and kind of blended in with the environment. Here, they're a lot more obvious and easier to hit, which, thank you, Toys for Bob, for doing that. We are forever grateful. This isn't a very big area, and it's, you know, not very confusing, so finding all the seaweed should be pretty easy to find. I say as I get the last one. Super. So now it's just a matter of gem cleanup. Just search high and low. A lot of them are pretty well bunched together. By the time we exit this area of the level, we should only have 25 left. Actually, let's see. Hey, look at that, 25 left. So to get off the Manta Ray, just go back where you came from, and you'll go back to Hunter.
You can ride the Manta Ray around.
Maybe later. Or maybe never, since, you know, I've done all I can.
Okay. By the way, if you see Bianca around, can you tell her to meet me here? I, promised I'd give her scuba lessons once the sharks were gone.
Mm-hmm. You can just tell me I'm your bro, man. Scuba is code for make out. It's fine. It's fine, my man. The camera was weird. Camera is still weird. What the hell is happening? This is like the same sort of camera angle that I would have at a boss battle. It jumps when I jump. That makes me uncomfortable. Well, it still jumps when I jump, but it was like even more pronounced now. That was weird. Also, the last of the gems is right over here, and you also get a life for it. Alright. We are nearing the end of the game, guys. Get excited, and also get sad that the series is almost over. Let's go home. The next level we're gonna do today is Haunted Tomb. Right here. Now, Haunted Tomb was my favorite level in quite possibly the entire original trilogy. So I was really looking forward to playing it for Reignited. And I got into it, and it's good. There are definitely a few kinks that really hold it back, but I wouldn't say it's the worst level in Reignited. But it's far from the best. Let's go.
Yet another daredevil adventurer has come to rob our catacombs of loot. Let's just hope you're made of tougher stuff than the last guy. If you can survive the trials of our catacombs and answer my riddle, we will give you a prize befitting your efforts.
I'm not really sure what accent you're going for, or even if it even like fits the aesthetic of the level, but keep on doing it. I like it.
Here is my riddle. I am a vessel without hinges, lock, or lid. Yet, within my walls, a golden treasure is hid. What am I?
It's Pikachu! Yeah, that's kind of the shtick with this level, is that before you go for any, like, outside challenge, you need to answer a riddle. But don't worry, the riddles are honestly pretty easy. And they never change. Their answers never change, and the riddles themselves never change, so... And also, if you've been paying any attention whatsoever, you'll already know the answer to this riddle. So, suck it. And these guys are just going to keep on coming right out of this coffin here unless we destroy it. But we cannot destroy it with the means that we currently have at our disposal, so let's go find better means. Also, yes, that is the very end of the level up there. Another nice little loop around. Get out of here. You step on these switches to open all these doors. A lot of times you'll find yourself sprinting and charging from the switch to the door because they're pretty far apart. And then there's this guy. Now, I think I mentioned earlier that, about, recycled character models that weren't really a thing. Also use this to destroy that. They were a thing in the original, but not in here. And this is a good example of that, because in the original, this guy was supposed to look like, one of the Earth Shapers from Spyro 2. But here, he just looks like his own thing, which is really cool. Another good way to keep it fresh. Props to you, Toys for Bob. Yeah. Not only does that stop the enemies from spawning, but you get 10 gems for each one. Give you a bit more incentive. Also, that was a sick glide. Well done. Alright, so you know how earlier I said that pushing the box off of the cliff in Bentley's level was the easiest and most obvious skill point in the game? This one is a pretty decent runner-up. Just swim into that tunnel, and there you go. And on you go. I love the animation that they have. The dogs, the Anubis dogs, I guess they're supposed to be, just disintegrate upon contact. It looks so neat. It almost makes me feel bad for, you know, killing a dog. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So yeah, this level is, for the most part, pretty well done. This is a thing that I really don't like right here. These falling rocks have massive hitboxes. Watch me not get hit by one of them. Or not. Well, there goes that dream of mine. Thanks, game. And also, if you, find that you've accidentally defeated all of those enemies that throw those bombs, and you can't, destroy all of the sarcophagi, then there's more dropping over here, which is, you know, very convenient. So there's all the gems here, and there's the switch to the next door. Go, 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 go! Barrel onward! You know, it's really convenient that as soon as these bombs enter your mouth, they don't explode until you shoot them. Which, you know, if that wasn't the case, then this game would easily be rated mature, because Spyro's head would just explode in a bunch of horrible gore and debris and brain matter, and I'm just gonna stop painting this mental image, because it's kind of distressing, honestly. Why did I even think about that? Why did you make me think about that? And you must pay in death. Yeah, this violence is, you know, cartoony and innocent enough, but when you think about it, Spyro's just a straight-up murderer. But it's okay, we're murdering for the greater good. We're murdering everyone who is evil! So here's the button right here. You also kind of have to look out of your way for the nearby buttons. Ah, God, these rocks. Also, this would be like a frick. This would be another... God dang, man. Another good place to drop those, bomb projectiles. See what I mean? The hitboxes are just so bad. Ugh. And in the original, that was the case. The bombs, did drop from here as well. Which I don't really know why they chose to have the bombs drop from the really small place that you only have one reason to get to, which is collecting gems and never again, rather than this wide open space that's actually part of level traversal. Kinda weird. Again, hope they fix that in a patch. For someone who claims to love this game, I sure am making an awful lot of demands to make it better. That's game fandom in a nutshell for you. I love it, 10 out of 10, but you know, maybe don't make it suck so much. Is that guy gonna kill himself? Oh, come on, that bomb exploded right next to him. It's kinda stupid that doesn't count unless I shoot it at him. Come on. Friendly fire was a thing in other levels, why not this one? Yep. Ready to go breakfast and eat hearty sparks. For tonight, we save Christine. Would have been kind of funny if this... I'm guessing it's like supposed to be a puddle on the ground, if that got a little bit bigger after the baby dragon cried. These are all things that I just think of. It's not things that necessarily need to happen or that I would have liked to have happened. It's just random thoughts that I have to keep the commentary going. Right, so we need another switch, which is right outside the last door. So we ain't gonna kind of book it. Bookie. There we go. Oh god. More falling rocks. Watch out for falling rocks. They will mess you up, fam. Okay, we're good. We are golden. We are golden grams, which is my favorite cereal. I missed a gem. just gonna wait. Okay. We are fine as vino. Fino es vino. Get these gems first, so they're no longer a distraction. Then we can finally move on to the next trial, which, as fate would have it, would hold a challenge portal. But first, let's take care of these guys. Yeah. Sparks, I understand that's really close to the wall. That doesn't mean you have to slack. Alright. Making short work of this level. Again, this is another level in which all of the gems are contained within the base world, rather than the challenge portals. So you'll be accumulating a lot of gems really freaking quickly. Ooh, this looks like an arena of sorts. And that's because it is.
The first round of the annual demolition hovercraft competition is about to begin. There is room for one more contestant, but you'll have to answer a riddle to qualify.
You need to prove that you need to prove your brains in order to get into a contest of brawn. Seems a bit counterproductive, but okay.
The riddle is this. If one dragon can lay one egg in 12 years, how long would it take for 100 dragons to lay 100 eggs?
This is one of those math puzzles that's only really hard if you think about it too much. The answer is 12 years. Pretty simple.
Very impressive. That is correct. Good luck in the demolition hovercraft competition.
Why, thank you. So, yep. This is a thing that's happening. Spyro the Dragon Twisted in Metal version. This tank kind of controls like a, well, tank. Again, use L1 and R1 to strafe, circle to fire straight, and the square button to do a lob shot. I usually don't use the lob shots. Really, the best way to do this is just to keep on strafing and keep on shooting. There's 2 guys over on this end, and 2 more guys over here. Not too bad.
Well, that was a fierce battle indeed. Please accept this prize for winning the first round.
The first round, you say? Oh my. Kid's been out of an egg for 1 second, he's already a better juggler than me.
Championship round. However, this is an exceedingly dangerous sport. Might I suggest you quit while you're still in one piece?
Oh please, Danger is my middle name! Actually, my middle name is Martin, but that's, you know, neither here nor there.
My, such a brave reptile you are. But
I'm a mythological creature, how dare you?
To win the championship.
I mean, for that matter, are dragons reptiles? Do they technically qualify as reptiles? I mean, I guess if they did exist, which I know some people believe that they did at one point, which, you know, you're free to believe what you want. One of those people is my wife, so I kind of have to say that. But if they were still around, how about that? Would they qualify as a reptile? Maybe an amphibian? No. If Over the Hedge has taught me anything, is holy crap. Is that the distinction between amphibian and reptile is kind of hard to make. So yeah, there's 10 of these guys, and you have to go a little bit out of your way to get them. But there is fodder in this match. But really, I would worry more about falling off the edge than anything else. Just keep on strafing, and you will be pretty good at the game of destruction and doom and... Seriously, we're just straight up murdering people. I have tasted blood, and I require more! I didn't get hit once, that hardly ever happens.
That was indeed a battle for the ages.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
For the first dragon to win the competition in over 1,000 years, I proudly present you this year's grand prize.
Well, you know, since dragons haven't been here in 1,000 years, that's not exactly a high standard. Just throwing that out there. It's more a matter of consequence than of skill. So, you know, let me get in there. Oh, wait, I can actually walk by you? I always thought there was like an invisible wall here. I think there might have been in the original, I'm not sure. But hey, I can explore this. Does the fire hurt me? Okay, there's an invisible wall when it comes to the fire. Actually, no, I don't think there was an invisible wall in the original, because I remember that I was able to charge these, and it would have like the exact same effect as if I shot it with a cannon, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But that is all there is to do here. So then let us continue. The end of the level is actually right up these steps, so we're making pretty short work of this one. Huzzah!
I see you've managed to survive the trials of the catacombs. Now let's find out if your wits are as quick as your feet. Do you remember the riddle?
I do.
I am a
So
vessel
that means you don't have to tell it to me again. I remember when I was in Desert Ruins that I mentioned Insomniac and Naughty Dog back when they were developing these games, that they would keep on like poking fun at each other and making references in each other's games. And here's another example of it. Right there. By the way, that's not the answer. The answer is obviously egg.
Have you heard that one before? I never thought you'd get it. Very well, a bargain is a bargain. You may have the dragon egg that I was guarding from the sorceress.
Woohoo! Wait, if I answered Bandicoot, then would you have given me a Bandicoot? No, never mind, I want to change my answer. I want to change my answer. Please, let me.
Waited
Damn it.
7,000 years for someone to solve that riddle. Now I can finally head off to Seashell Shore to bury some bones.
And that is one line that in my... Are you serious? I've encountered so many glitches that I have never encountered before in this playthrough. Oh my gosh. As I was saying, I wonder if... I'm going to do that later. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, that line. I've never understood that line. 7,000 years is kind of a random number going to Seashell Shore. What does this have anything to do with Seashell Shore? Maybe it's an inside joke among the original developers, or maybe it's just something completely random or a reference to something else. Who knows? Either way, this slide is really annoying. This is the slide I was talking about earlier with the really tight turn. And the exploit that you use, so you can use the borders here to slow yourself down. And you can just barely make it just like that. Hey, it's Malcolm. He's right in the middle of the level. Oh my god, I just got that! This is literally the middle of the level, and that egg is called Malcolm. How have I never noticed that before? Oh my god, this is such a revelation for me. I feel like I've seen the eyes of God. Oh, you clever bastards, Insomniac. I love you to bits. I love you. I love you. You guys are my heroes. So now we make the journey all the way back up here into the Agent 9 challenge, which is, well, it was, I suppose, kind of fun in the original, considering the camera angle that you had and Agent 9's less than perfect controls, but even here, as fate would have it, it's actually a frickin' blast. So let's do it.
Funny hats put a curse on me just because I shot him in the butt a couple times. He said he turned my tail into a snake. Does it look like a snake to you? It does feel kind of funny, come to think of it. Oh boy, that dog's gonna bang.
Have you ever heard of Ritalin? What's up?
Behind this door lie the 5 deadly trials of King Rover. No one has ever survived all 5. In fact, it is so dangerous that I cannot let you through this first door unless you're able to solve my riddle.
The riddle is this. How am I talking if my lip movements do not match to a single thing that I am saying?
Here's the riddle. I follow you wherever you go, but the more of me you take, the more you leave behind.
This one's pretty easy too. Now, a giant lizard, I'm not sure if that's a reference to another game. Could be Gex, maybe? But the answer, time could kind of work, but in this case it's actually footsteps.
My, you're quite clever for someone with so little fashion sense.
Excuse me, this is the future that I'm wearing. Yeah. Let's go. And don't worry, it's not... All I'm doing is walking into you. My god, you are a wimp. And don't worry, the camera is not eternally from this top-down view. You can actually adjust the Y-axis to your liking. And now you just fire. And you always fire in a straight line when you do this challenge, which, you know, makes sense. It's also made a lot more easier and a lot more easier. That's a bit redundant. It's made easier and also more fun. And for these, you want to try to break these first, because this is where enemies regenerate. So you break all of those. There you go. And then you just pick up the stragglers. And fun times were had by all. And I gotta deal with these mummy dudes, but fortunately they can only attack at like really close range. With Agent 9's movements, this is just so much more fun now. I love it. And you can destroy the sarcophagi so that the mummy guys don't regenerate. Agent 9 is just... I cannot get over how much fun Agent 9 is to control now. It just makes me want to play Ratchet and Clank again. I love it. Yeah. I almost gave myself a haircut with my own projectile. Now, these big old dudes we're gonna save for last, for obvious reasons. Let me see if I can do a flawless run of this. I don't think I've been able to do that in this version of the game. Even though I claimed earlier that this is arguably easier than it was in the original. Oh god, that was close. Right, so that, yep, that just leaves these big dudes here. So these things act exactly like bombs. Like they would in Agent 9's home level. Just wait until they stop glowing like that, because if you touch them while they do, then you'll get hit by them. There we go. And there you go. Didn't get hit once. How do you like them apples? And how do you like this egg? Roxy. Roxanne! That's all the eggs, and I got all the gems earlier, I believe, so that is Haunted Tomb done. So yeah, other than the falling rocks, and the fact that they have a massive hitbox, I still really, really enjoy this level. It looks really cool, and it's still a lot of fun. So, I'm almost sad to leave. Almost. God, oh, I'll never get over how... Oh my gosh, I'll never get over how awesome these crystals look. They're so reflective and so shiny. Well, not really reflective, but the patterns on them change as you rotate the camera around to accommodate for where you are and where the crystals are. This game just looks so good. It has its technical hiccups, but at a glance, it's just a gorgeous flippin' game. 100 eggs, oh my gosh, I have that, and then some.
You did it, Spyro. You found enough dragon eggs for me to unlock the portal. Once I've opened it, you can confront the sorceress whenever you're ready. But be careful. She'll be expecting you.
I would imagine so. I mean, I've thwarted all of her plans up to now. Why stop? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So now we're going to do literally everything else in the game. Well, not everything else, but everything else in this world. How's that? Before we tackle the sorceress. Because I like keeping things in sequence, keeping things in check. Also, there's an egg over here. This also gives you a really good view of, the Haunted Tomb portal. That big little snake dude. He looks really cool. Alright. Ooh, the bubbling of the purple ooze is actually quite calming. It's weird. It's like an ASMR video up in here now. Go get these straggling gems before I forget they're there. There we go. Yeah. Dino Mines, another one of my favorite levels. In this version of the game, it's good, but it definitely has some hiccups. It's definitely a bit rough around the edges in some areas. But let's go ahead and explore it. Alright, so the very first thing that we're going to do in this level is actually go around here. Because there's an egg over here. Now this one is really, really hard to find. I think the way that I found this way back in the day was I was missing an egg and also some gems, and Sparks kept on putting over here. And I noticed that if I actually go to the guidebook here, when the eggs are listed, it actually says the name of the egg that's next in the sequence that you haven't gotten yet. And the only egg that I was missing at that time was called Leap of Faith, so I kind of put 2 and 2 together. Either way, here's Dan. Here's Dirty Dan. Now there's a bunch of cacti scattered around this level. And if you remember from Skilos Badlands, you're able to destroy the cacti and it'll get a skill point. Here, the cacti are even more important because they yield gems, so keep your eye out for any and all of them. There we go. It's getting back that's really the harder part. Now, Dynamines is arguably the hardest level, both in the original Spyro 3 and in this one, and it's mostly because of these enemies. If you give them long enough to react, then they will shoot you, so you just want to get them all just one after the other. And then come back and get the gems later. Also, the blue ones throw dynamite, so be wary of that. My gosh, who needs Red Dead Redemption 2 when you've got freaking Dino Mines, man? Also, to anyone who's interested, I am going to be getting Red Dead Redemption 2 very soon, and I'm going to be doing a Let's Play of that as well. Shameless self-plug on my own channel. Gotta love it. And now it's time for another... Well, I wouldn't say this is quite Juliet level of disappointing voice redos, but here you go.
Well, gosh darn it, Spyro. I came in here to check on my prisoner only to find out he'd somehow got away again. Then when I came in to look around for clues, one of them routed dinosaurs went and locked me in. Now they're out there causing all sorts of trouble and there's not a thing I can do about it.
Now, to you newcomers out there, this voice actor for this character probably doesn't sound all that bad. He sounds pretty fitting, nice exaggerated southern accents, all that, you know, good old southern charm, southern twang. But the reason why this is kind of disappointing is... Also, that's a thing. Is, in the original, the voice actor who did the NPCs for these levels was doing a very exaggerated, very over-the-top impression of Jimmy Stewart. And it was freaking hilarious. Well, gosh darn it, Spyro! Those rowdy dinosaurs went and locked me in! The greatest thing ever. Also, are you gonna shoot me? Are you gonna shoot me? Are you... You shot me. I remember it was a bit of an exploit in the original that if you, like, took the camera off of them, it would break the sequence of the dinosaurs doing the whole gunslinging thing and then shooting at you. Here, I'm not sure if that's the case. But really, I'm more concerned about... No wonder I couldn't get that gem before. I'm more concerned about just killing the dinosaurs before they even have a chance. Also, I think it's a really nice touch that they're, like... I don't know, I wouldn't really call it racist, but... I do think it's a nice touch that they're, like, wearing sombreros and ponchos and stuff. Make them look like desperados. Really, hammers in the whole, Wild West aspect of this game. Of this level, I should say. Not the game. God, imagine if Spyro was an unlockable character in Red Dead Redemption 2. Imagine if he made a cameo. It'd be the best game ever. These guys are gonna charge. And yeah, that just disintegrates after a while. Kind of weird. Also, there's a life in the chimney, which is nice. Be careful around this next corner because dinosaurs will shoot you. Yes. Talk about a quick trigger finger. I need to actually have a quick trigger finger now that Flame for the Reignited Trilogy is mapped to R2, which is kind of like a trigger. Alright, so now we go into a flooded mine shaft. And the enemies in underwater are really freaking annoying. You need to be, like, even quicker and more precise. You don't want to come at these seahorses dead on. You want to kind of, like, get underneath them and then go up. Otherwise, they will most likely shoot you. I'm just going to take care of all the seahorses first and then go back and get all the gems that I missed. And also, that happens. Oh, you distracted me. I see. You catfished me. feel so betrayed. Ugh. Except now just go back and get the gems. This is a pretty easy area to miss gems, so just keep that in mind. Keep your head on a swivel and your eyes peeled and all those good cliches. And oh my gosh, I was inside one of those TNT crates for a second there. And gee, I wonder why this wall is so cracked. Probably because there's something on the other side of it. Why am I so high up? That's weird. It's kind of sad that that's the only dragon in the whole game that has that animation. The only dragon in the game that has a binky. Kind of sad because it's really cute. Also, one of the last dragons that I freed from Haunted Tomb, that's the only dragon in the game that juggles, so... I guess you gotta keep things fresh every now and then. Imagine if every dragon in the game actually had a different animation, my gosh. That would have been insane. How creative could you get with something like that before you were just burned out? Makes me wonder. So now we get up here, and... oh god! Oh, everything is trying to kill me! Jeez, this is a cover shooter now, apparently. Oh man. Oh my god. Okay, that's the second gem in this level alone that Sparks is just like, nope, not doing it. Ugh. Yeah. Good. Give me all the gems. Give me everything. This guy is a little bit easier to dodge because I was gonna say that he can't shoot you if you're underneath the bridge, but I guess that's a lie that I told myself to make myself feel better. Oh god, I have no sparks, so please tell me this is the last enemy. Thank goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I don't mind running into these gems for a little bit, so I'm gonna kinda have to, aren't I? Just take your time and bash right through there, and look at where we are.
Well, I'll be, so that's how my prisoners keep escaping. Here, take this dinosaur egg away before it hatches and causes more trouble. I think it must have been the runt of the litter, though.
Yeah, they can't all be ferocious monsters. Kiki, how's your delivery service going? I love how she even has a bow on her head. That's a nice touch.
Jumping Jehoshaphat. That's the cutest looking dinosaur I ever did see.
I would hope so. To go on that, I'm pretty sure in the original, that dinosaur Kiki did have a red bow, which is of course a reference to Kiki's Delivery Service, a very beloved Studio Ghibli movie. So, since the bow that one had was more of a, like, pinkish magenta tinge to it, I don't think Toys for Bob picked up on the reference, which is kinda sad. Also, I was trying to look for more fodder over there, but no dice. Fortunately, we don't really need health, per se, to do this next challenge here. Which is a little bit of a doozy, as is pretty much everything in this level.
One of them dinosaurs threw an egg down this flooded mine shaft. I'd get it back for you, but I ain't such a strong swimmer.
So yeah, this is kind of similar to the super fluidity tunnel in Seashell Shore, except you're given a bit more room to roam around, but at the same time there's a lot more obstacles. So just, like, stay one step ahead of yourself. And also some of these wooden planks move around a little bit, so watch out for that. There's also these seahorses here, and no, they aren't required to progress through the mine shaft. However, if you aren't good enough at steering and dodging to get all 4 of them, then you will get a skill point. Yeah. Let's see if I can actually get all this in my first go. Bunch of TNT crates. Oh my gosh, am I? Oh my god, I am so good.
That was some mighty fine swimming, young dragon.
Why, thank ya. Yeah, even though I did get the skill points, Sparks is still green, and we are actually going to need health, and lots of it, in the next challenge. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna die. I got enough lives, I don't care. So now we get to be Agent 9 again. Oh, joy.
The
sheriff promised me I could be a deputy. So I'm off to help clear out all the dinosaurs.
Darn tootin'.
If you just calm down for a second and stop all that whooping and hollering, I could tell you what's going on. The Bailey gang are holed up in them buildings over there. You're gonna have to go in there and flush them out.
Okay, now this voice actor I'm really not a fan of. Because he's honestly kind of annoying and whiny sounding. And also, in the original, the voice actor had a lot of fun with the Jimmy Stewart impression. It actually started off with just a bunch of stammering and sputtering. Just calm down for a second. Always made me laugh every time. But either way, let's have a bit of on-rails shooting fun.
Well, good luck to you.
Yep. This is happening now. It's just like those old arcade shooters that actually have, you know, guns as controllers that you find at bowling alleys and arcades and stuff. Really cool. Yeah, give me that. And if you remember, I did say, before I entered this level, that Dino Mines is fun, but it's a bit rough around the edges. This is one of those examples, because as you can see from the way that my health just went down, this level is a little bit unfinished, because it doesn't accommodate the fact that, you have an extra hit point from sparks. If it did, then my health would have gone right down back to 75, rather than 66. And I think the reason for that is because this level was made available as a demo before the game was released. And that really didn't accommodate the fact that Sparks has an extra hit point because, you know, it was just a demo, and that really hadn't been added to the game yet. And this, I think, is the, direct from the demo version. So hopefully they fix this in a patch. This is actually something that I genuinely hope they fix in a patch. Also, there's a skill point here. You see that dino that's roaming in the background? If you get him, skill point and much needed health. You're definitely going to need it for this next part here. Because it is a bit chaotic. Just keep your finger on the trigger. Keep this pinpointed here. And also another, a reason why we believe, I say we because my friends have talked about this, is, another reason why we believe that this is, like, straight from the demo version of this level is that there is another level, actually in Fireworks Factory, that we're going to go back to pretty soon, that features a first-person, shoot-'em-up. I'm going to wait for this.
The Bailey gang was trying so hard to steal this egg. That's not like them at all. I reckon someone must have put them up to it.
And we all know who that someone is. Sharon? So as I was saying, there's, the Agent 9 section in Fireworks Factory that also has, like, first-person shooting stuff added to it. And that level actually does accommodate for the fact that Sparks has an extra hit point. So, again, hopefully it's something that can be patched. Really, really hope so. I mean, I'm sure Toys for Bob are well aware of it by now. And it's on their to-do list. But, oh my gosh, it's been, like, what, almost 2 months since this game has been released, and they're still hard at work on a patch. Hopefully, I mean, I'm not really being too awfully hopeful, because I'm sure they're, like, hard at work, and it takes an awful long time to really perfect a game. But I'm wondering if they're, like, addressing all of the complaints at once, and the patch is going to be, like, several gigs. Jeez, if that's the case, Toys for Bob, please don't work yourselves too hard. I mean, this game is fantastic enough as is, but just, you know... And we really appreciate that you're taking all of our feedback to heart, but please, don't overwork yourselves. Please. So, yep. Extra egg in the bank. Whole bunch of gems that we need to pick up along the way, and this should be all that we have left to do in the level. Keep an eye out for these windows that you can break, because there are some gems hidden behind it. And the last of the gems should be right behind this big old whatever it is. Oh, it looks like an overturned minecart. Here we go. Is this it? This is it. Woohoo! Alright. We're actually making pretty short work of these levels today. I'm okay with that. Well, not, like, totally okay, because that means that this playthrough is gonna be coming to an end soon. And I love this game so much. But alas, all good things must come to an end eventually, as is life.
I feel like I've seen the eyes of God.